What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Dharma Short, and you're checking out YourMusicMyWorld.com.
Like meteors, it's coming down like meteors, like meteors.
So the last time, we talked, you just put out Goldenheart.
Yes.
So since then, now you're working on BlackHeart. Explain the concept of this new album compared to your first solo debut album.
Well, this album is darker. It's richer, and it's a little bit more raw and bold. I'm saying it's blunt. It's honestly the bluntest I'll be on any of the albums, because when you fall and you hit your bottom and you find out that you have to come to terms with who you really are and the things that you've had to do to get where you are. There's this kind of grittiness about your persona and where you are in your life that you just kind of really don't care what people think of you. You reach that moment where you're going to say what you want to say, and it might be as ignorant and as crazy and as real as it is. You come to terms with who you are, and you're kind of not taking anything but what works for you. And so BlackHeart is that arrogance and that cockiness and almost that kind of self-realization that you found yourself, and you kind of had to come to terms with the fact that in Goldenheart we got our hands a little dirty because we had to. We had to fight to get what we needed to get out of something. And now that we've got it, we have a little blood on our hands, but we had to do it, and now that we've seen who we really are, we've come to terms with the fact that we have to hit bottom to rise.
Okay. Well, since putting out Goldenheart, it got a lot of great reviews on it, and like when you said people said you couldn't do it and you did, and you exceeded people's expectations. Has like a lot of major labels been contacting you, like been wanting to work with you and stuff like that?
Yeah, but everything has to be right, and I'm grateful for that because I've always loved the idea of being with the label. But I also I want to make sure that I'm always giving the fan base and the movement the best possible opportunities and the best deals, because at the end of the day, the project isn't about me; it's about them, and I don't want to ever disappoint them or lose the value of what we worked hard to get. So it's one of those things where, when the right deal comes along, I'll be happy to take it, take it forward and move forward with it.
Well, we know that you were going to put out the videos for Riot and Northern Lights, and a lot of fans were sad to hear the news that they weren't going to be the release. Can you give us a little more insight as to why now it won't be coming out?
Just I can't continue. You can't put. I always am the person that respect. What people would like, and if they tell me that they don't want their songs or their things to come out of respect to them, I do it. So it's one of those things. If I'm changing teams and the teams don't want their music out, I have to respect it. So Northern Lights can't be played, and I don't want to jeopardize that or hurt anyone. So I just take it easy and just say, okay, well, we'll just go back to the drawing board and move forward. But the fan base is hurt, but I've delivered, and I always make sure I deliver something in the process to make them feel excited. And the fact that one video won't come out will not stop the show, and with that, I made sure I would tell them that I was releasing BlackHeart and gave them visuals to what the look sounds like and what the date is, and also great, collaborations. I'm doing a collaboration with Entree, which is a clothing line for BlackHeart, which will give the Hearts another opportunity to get great wear, great clothes, and, be a part of something else that's incredibly just as big as Goldenheart was. So I always make sure I kind of make it up to them in a way where they don't be so upset. And I also put the rehearsal videos out so that they could get an idea. So I always make it up to them, in a way where things happen in this business all the time and you have to be prepared for it. But I also always make sure that they get something in return so that they never feel let down.
Right. Well, I saw the clip that you put up. The video was like it was going to be hot. Like, oh my God, the dancing is on point.
Yeah, and that's why I made sure I put the rehearsal video out so that people could see what it was and what it looked like, and I always do that. I always make sure people know what the choreography looks like. But that's just one thing, and I've always delivered and made sure that I've given them the best visuals I possibly can, because I think sometimes because we do things so quickly and we try to give them quality work, some people sometimes forget that, yes, we are independent. So things take time and they have to be done right. And I think because we get so much, sometimes people forget that these things take time. Like, you can't have a video and an album done in 6 seconds. Right. It's one of those things where I think when you deliver great things, people sometimes forget that art takes time. And the fact that Goldenheart BlackHeart came out January, and we're already looking to maybe do a fall release in the same year. It's a lot of work, and so I'm trying to also deliver the best product to them and the best, piece of music and the best piece of art that they're proud of.
Well, what producers have you been working with on this album, and songwriters and everything?
I've been working with a lot of European producers and a lot of DJs. I've been dealing with a lot of sound this time around. I really want to push the limits with this sound. It's very ethereal. It's very ambient. And if people have gone back to my later work, I always sometimes do an EP prior to kind of be the preface or the introduction to what the next album will sound like. Because people purchased Whiteout, which is my Christmas EP. They can expect a lot of sound to come from that world on BlackHeart, and I did that purposely so I could get people prepared for it. So there's a lot of ethereal, ambient, along with these heavy 808s. So we're going to be dancing a lot, but I'm also going to take you into an experience. This will feel like you have fallen. It's a very Alice in Wonderland take, but a quirky, twisted side to it that people will feel like they fell into something.
Okay. Can't wait to hear this. It sounds like it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, let me go.
So we all saw the TMZ clip of you and Danity Kane having lunch together, and I know you get a lot of questions about this, but a lot of fans are excited to know. Since that lunch, have you all been talking about possibly reuniting and getting back into the studio?
Yeah, we've been talking. We've been talking a lot, and it's because of you guys. Y'all talk a lot. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where our fan base is incredible, and they've had an opportunity to tell us how they feel with that lunch, and the fact that we trended for 2 days. We can't not address it. You know what I mean? It's one of those things we're very grateful for, and because it was such a big response, we kind of felt like we owed it to everyone to at least keep in touch with each other and start talking about the possibilities of what we could do. So I don't know. You guys have to wait and see what we come up with, and if we even come up with anything.
Well, we know with Goldenheart, you had no features, which was good because we got to see Dawn in her full limelight, and we loved it. Do you think with BlackHeart there would be a possible guest feature?
Oh, there'll be a feature. Yeah, totally. And it'll be something that's unexpected. And I'm going to push the limits on that. I want to do a lot of female collabs, too, because I feel like there's a lack of camaraderie in that field. Everybody's like my fave, and all this bullshit. And I really want to make sure that people see the beauty in women coming together, especially on something so aggressive. With this album being aggressive, so I really think that'll be cool. So there'll definitely be collabs this album.
We saw on Twitter that you and Drew are no longer working together, and you guys worked together on Goldenheart. What made y'all come to the creative decision to part ways?
I think in music that you always work with a producer. We did 3 great projects together, and I think I've always been an artist that loves to work with different people. I worked with different people in Danity Kane, and then I worked with people in Dirty Money that were very different, and then A Telltale Heart was a different producer than the projects that I did with Drew. And I think, I like to progress. I always want to try new things and push myself as an artist. And I think any artist that can do that is dope because, usually people are like, it'll be dope if you just stay with one person because it's a specific sound. And I do agree with that with your project, but I also agree with pushing the envelope and really finding new sounds and new people and new ideas. And so I'm able, so if you're lucky, you're able to continue to do that, not just in my music, but in choreography and in visuals too, working with different stylists, working with different choreographers. I've been blessed enough to be able to do it multiple times. I've worked with the best of them in choreography, and for directing. And I don't want to stop that. I kind of think it's dope, and I think few can do that, take, different people and still keep themselves, keep their sound, and take it to the next level. And I like to challenge myself, so I think it was one of those things where it was time, it was a great run. But it's always good to do that and evolve your sound on both ends. And so this time around, I wanted to take BlackHeart into a darker place, and so I thought it'd be cool to give other independent artists, other independent producers that opportunity as well, because there's a lot of dope people out there that want to work, and that's dope in their own right. And I love doing that. I love working with people who are new and fresh and exciting. That's why I chose to work with Drew. It was one of those things that people didn't know, and I want, he was incredible, and I thought it was a dope look. It's the same thing with working with other producers. You have to give people that chance, and there's always this new kid that just came on the map that wants an opportunity that's incredible. And if you're smart, you take that kid on. and you get some of his awesomeness. And so I'm lucky enough to be able to work with the best of them and even the young and fresh that people don't know. And that makes me excited because it makes me see things maybe I didn't see before, or it makes me trying to expand my sound. And I like that. I like pushing myself. So it was just an agreement that I think that needed to be done, and I think it's a smart decision.
Okay. Well, with BlackHeart, you said it's going to be coming out in October. Do you already have like a date set to when you might release the first single for it?
Yeah, I'm looking at close to July, early July, so in the next 2 weeks.
Okay, well, that's exciting news, exclusive right there. Well, since releasing your solo debut album, how does it feel when people say that you're changing the face of how R&B is perceived?
I'm humbled. I mean, I just do what I love to do. I'm grateful that people use those big words, but honestly, I just, this is fun. I do this because I love it, and all the accolades are great, but I give those to the movement, to the fan base. I just take the mic,
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the mic, yeah.